So here's something interesting. Fourways Mall is one of the biggest malls in South Africa, but it's also dying. With a gross rental area of 178,000 square meters, Fourways Mall consists of over 350 to 400 stores, a 2-level food court, a massive open-air exhibition arena, an entertainment area that includes movie theaters, a sizable outdoor mini golf course, and a bounce trampoline center, various restaurants, and 8,000 parking bays. But all that seems like it's not enough for Fourways Mall. Something very strange is happening to this mall. It's just dying, or at least struggling. More than 120 of the 400 stores at Fourways Mall are vacant. That's more than a quarter of the outlets. Anyone visiting the center can see just for themselves how much retail space still remains unoccupied. Entire wings of the center have been simply unlet. The thought around making this mall bigger started circa 2013 December, when the listing of Accelerate Property Fund was concluded. Immediately after that, RMB Real Estate Investment Bank was approached to fulfill the role of debt advisor and mandated lead arranger for the 2.4 billion rand funding package required to complete the redevelopment of the Fourways Mall. Even on social media, I remember a time when there was a thematic that was started by people like a good friend of mine, Tsepi Vundla, who tweeted around 2011 that Fourways Mall just sucks. And you know what? It did lose its cool factor a long time ago. But I'm interested in knowing why you think Fourways Mall is struggling. Please add your voice into the comments. Let's kind of solve this puzzle together. All I can do is kind of give you the stats. So in the redevelopment, the old and the new portions of the mall were integrated into one seamless shopping experience, and the addition of 3 entrances with direct access to parking were meant to ease the flow of customers into the center. I don't know if that has been realized fully, the whole traffic thing, because Fourways and this particular mall unfortunately are still known for terrible traffic congestion, and that makes coming to the mall a little bit more daunting than others. In one particular section of the mall, opening soon signs in some of the shops have been there for almost 3 years, or for as long as I've lived in the area. Well, kind of since lockdown actually. There are a large number of vacant shops on the banking side, built as part of the major multi-billion rand redevelopment of the mall towards the end of the last decade. The mall just also kind of feels dark in that area. It feels a little bit more lifeless. The crazy thing about Fourways Mall is that for this 2.4 billion rand plus expansion, what it was meant to do was to grow this mall in size, but also in revenue, to show you how insane this redevelopment was. 400 million rand alone was said to have been invested in the road infrastructure around the precinct. This included a new dual carriage on the Cedar Road side, and also the widening of Witkoppen Road in certain areas. Just the road, 400 million. I think when I compare this mall to, for instance, Mall of Africa, there's a different feel, and also there's just less people at Fourways. Notably, South Africa's busiest mall in terms of mall visits is Mall of Africa. Conservative estimates indicate that around 15 million people will visit Mall of Africa annually, but it only comes in at number 8 in terms of being the largest mall in South Africa, with only 131,000 square meters of rentable space. And it's also situated in an area that is still growing, Waterfall and Midrand, unlike Fourways, which feels like it's become complete. It's done. The MOA finds itself on a 16 billion rand pocket of land in the center of Gauteng, on one of the largest mixed-use property development sites in South Africa, Waterfall City. There's something new and well-to-do about Mall of Africa. However, on the other side, Fourways Mall just doesn't feel aspirational enough anymore, at least to me. I don't know what you think. Accelerate Property Fund, the co-owners of South Africa's biggest mall, are now facing difficult times, mainly because of this mall, in fact. In its last year's results, for the 6 months which ended on the 30th of September 2023, the data shows that the group's vacancies at Fourways Mall had increased from 14,000 square meters in March of 2023 to 15,000 square meters. The mall's net rent per square meter had declined from 298 Rand in 2020 to 262 Rand in 2023. This came as a blow to the mall owners who were and still are facing ever-increasing costs of keeping it open. The other issue is that Fourways Mall's fair value has also declined over the years, with Accelerate's 50% shareholding value dropping from 4.8 billion Rand in 2020 to 4 billion Rand 3 years later. This puts Fourways Mall's value at just over 8 billion Rand from close to 9.6 billion Rand before. The mall in essence lost 1.6 billion Rands in value over the time that we're looking at. I mean, that's crazy to even consider. But to understand why this mall got so big, I think it's important to understand where this mall comes from. The history and now the troubles of Fourways Mall have been at the heart of the northern suburbs for over 23 years. The mall was at some stage the first of its kind in the area, built to cater for the northern parts of Johannesburg. September 2019 saw an ambitious program that led to the relaunch of the expanded Fourways Mall. Now, by its own account, the largest in South Africa at approximately 178,000 square meters. The expansion included the development of the 2 flyovers that I spoke about that deliver you right into the underground parking, just off Winnie Mandela Drive and Witkoppen Road. Fourways back then represented a rapidly growing node. It was situated in a part that was growing. Initially developed in 1994, the mall served as a cornerstone of Fourways. It was a focal point, as it was then able to grow through providing retailers with sufficient floor space to meet the demands of the people in the area. But the redevelopment might have been a little bit too ambitious, as the mall finds itself now with too much space and not enough renters. But the owners say they have a way to fix this. They've installed new management as of July 2024, and there are plans to fix the mall. They say that the new turnaround strategy will offer retail options within a convenient, safe, and engaging environment. I don't know. They say that they're going to improve the signage for easy navigation. They also say they're going to introduce new tenants. I don't know how they're going to do that. They're going to also deploy full backup power solutions that are going to explore new energy alternatives. But like load shedding is kind of like not a thing anymore, but better safe than sorry. They're also looking to enhance the parking area lighting because, yeah, look, the parking areas are all a little bit sketchy there by Fourways. And they're also going to upgrade security measures so you feel a little bit safer. They're promising to optimize traffic flows and make parking bays bigger. Why this wasn't done before, I don't know. I mean, you've already spent 2.4 billion Rand. Also, they're planning to revitalize the surrounding area with an attention to the taxi services who clog up the roads around Fourways, and also find a way to deal with the hawkers. They're also going to deal with landscaping and the traffic light systems, which are forever down near Fourways. I mean, have you seen the traffic in Fourways, especially near the mall? Look, shopping malls in South Africa are undoubtedly under strain. And there's no place that reflects this more starkly than Fourways Mall. Vacancy rates remain problematic, and trading density for prime real estate has declined badly. Retailers have been under a lot of pressure over the last few years as consumers also remain financially constrained and have become more discerning about where they spend their money and also where they shop, what malls they go to. However, mid-sized centers are primed to take advantage of this new wave, as there is a large enough consumer shift in shopping behavior where people are embracing a lifestyle stance with a focus on a more balanced and healthy and wellness and also zen-like space. They don't want to be in chaotic malls anymore. But also on the other side, some mall property owners have sought to escape the pains by selling off or shifting ownership to others, and they've also turned to rehabilitating or revitalizing malls that are seen to be struggling to make them more appealing to consumers. I'm sure you've seen this around. And there's also mixed results when it comes to this. But then, despite consumer stress and retailer pain, South Africa has not slowed down in developing these new malls and centers. Though there has been a notable shift to a more smaller strip mall type style and also to lifestyle centers. This is what the new developments are looking like. There's a clear need for third spaces in South Africa. Third spaces where people can gather and just be. I just don't know if these spaces have to necessarily be malls. Thank you for watching this video till this part. I hope that you found this very interesting because it was interesting for us to create for you. Check out one of these other videos and I hope they'll be just as interesting as this one. Cheers.